go back to our reporters. Heidi Giokos is there, but for the moment also is Bafedile Moerane. Back to you, Bafedile. Let's take a quick look at then what you're seeing at the moment. Are you getting any response from any kind of official on the scene, Bafedile? Who do you have?
Well, certainly I've got the MMC for public safety in the city of Johannesburg. MMC, you're saying that you were here in the early hours of the morning. What is it that you found?
Well, we actually found that we actually got a call from our emergency center that the building's on fire, this one here, and then we actually dispatched our, the EMS and the police and all of that, and the rescue systems and all of that. But when we got here, the fire was actually caught the whole building. The whole building was on fire. What was very sad is that we found this other people were actually jumping out. So most of these people, some of them actually died because of actually that. These are one of the buildings which have actually we've done some inspections of them, and we've got the report that is going to be tabled in the MECOM that most of this building which are here, they are unsafe. They've actually been closed by the EMS, majority of them, including this one as you can see this one here, and then the one next to it as well. It actually been closed because it has been deemed unsafe. What has also been an issue is that if you go inside these buildings, people have built some shacks inside, and then because it is very cold, people will actually light. They will actually ignite some imbaulas and all of that. So we've been. The problem is that we can't. The problem that we're really having is that the people, when we close it, we have to send them to a transit place. So as you know that there's a backlog in terms of the housing and all of that, and it becomes a challenge and all of that. So that's what I've been calling that all of us, because if you go in there and then you tell people that they must go back to the area where they stay back home because the building is closed, then you've got all these NGOs like the series and all coming to you and taking you to court and all of that. And then I've been saying to everyone, let's come to the table and say how are we going to ensure that this building that the EMS has closed because of there's no escape routes for fire escape in an emergency, we are able to really get the people into the safe areas. So yes, that is what is happening. Yeah.
Terrible scenes unfolding here. People having to be stranded at this point in time. Your intervention?
No. Well, what happens is that we've got the disaster is here. It's going to be assisted in terms of the food and the mattresses. We are also waiting for the mayor who's going to be here at about 9:30. Then the CM and the COO as well. The COO is the Chief Operating Officer, which is going to activate all the departments, like your department of your housing, so that we're able to house people in a different place. So that's going to happen, and then on my side we're going to dispatch the disaster. I've seen them; they've arrived. They were here last night as well. They're going to be talking to the other NGOs and the gift of the givers and all of that. That's to bring food and those things as well. Yeah, so that's what we're going to do.
Well, thank you so much. That's the MMC for public safety from the city of Johannesburg, having to explain how are they going to intervene at this point in time. Terrible scenes that have actually been unfolding, with more and more bodies coming and being retrieved in this building. He's explained that these are some of the buildings that they've been visiting, and there's a report that's going to be tabled before the council to see how they intervene and get rid of the people who are actually hijacking this particular dilapidated building. So we are seeing, Gareth, more officials. It seems like they are coming down here. As we heard that the mayor of the city of Johannesburg is also making his way here. So the MMC is saying that he has been in the area since the early hours of the morning, trying to seek help for the people.
And get a sense of what actually may have led to the fire as well, Bafedile. Thank you for hearing from the MMC for public safety. I want to break away from you quickly. Heidi Giokos, let's just come to you quickly, and I think this is going to be difficult to understand and to hear how someone can go through this tragedy, but you found someone directly involved in this. Heidi, let's come to you.
Yes, Gareth, thank you so much. I just want to ask my guest, thank you so much for your time. I'm really sorry. I can see that this is very difficult for you, so I thank you for speaking to us. Maybe just tell us what exactly has happened and who you've lost in this tragedy.
I haven't lost anybody yet. I'm looking for my daughter. They can't find her in the fire, in the building. They can't find her. We're thinking that she's one of the people that has been burned down. I don't know. I can't find her anywhere. So everybody is saying she was in the building when the fire erupted. So they don't know if she has survived. So I don't know. I don't have the certain confirmation. Yes.
Okay. So does she live in this building?
She lives in this building. Yes, she's been living in this building for over a year now. Immediately when I heard that this building is burning down, I knew that I had to come here because that's where she stays. She's been here for over a year now.
Okay. And have you spoken to officials to try and ascertain what exactly is going on? I'm sure they've told you to just hold on because...
Yeah, they're telling us to hold on. They're still evacuating people. They're still looking for other bodies inside, and the death toll is just rising. So we are kept in suspense. We don't know. I actually don't know what's happening at the moment.
Did your daughter stay alone in here?
At first, yes, but she found somebody that she was staying in in the building. So I don't know where the person is. I don't know who the person actually is, because then my daughter was involved in drugs and stuff. So I actually don't know.
Okay, I'm wondering if you at all know about the condition of this building. Did you ever go inside?
Came here several times to look for her. I tried to bring her some stuff, but every time I come here, she runs away. She doesn't want to keep contact with me and with neither of the family. She doesn't want to talk to us. So I come here and I drop stuff and I leave. I don't know if they give her the stuff or what, but she doesn't want to talk to us. She doesn't want to talk to anyone.
Okay, thank you so much for your time, ma'am, and I'm really sorry. Just hang in there, okay? Thank you so much. Thanks, ma'am. I appreciate you speaking to us. Gareth, I think this is the reality of a number of people here in the CBD, really trying to find their loved ones. This particular story is rather tragic because she's obviously indicating that her daughter went down the wrong path and she tried to get her out of here and unfortunately she didn't succeed. So she doesn't know if her daughter is part of the 56 that have tragically lost their lives. If you can just give me 1 minute, Gareth, I want to see if I can quickly have a look on the group to see if the death toll... Yes, the death toll has now increased to 58 fatalities. 43 people remain injured. So the death toll has now increased to 58. And as I've mentioned to you time and time again, Gareth, that even the emergency services have told us that the death toll is expected to continue increasing, because at this particular point you have emergency services saying that at the moment it's not about rescuing, it's rather about recovering bodies. As firefighters, we've seen them moving in, really trying to figure out what's going on. It's a 5-story building. There's a lot that's been burnt. They are trying to get through all the rubble and the debris, but it's obviously a very difficult task, especially because firefighters have to also be very cautious because of whether or not the building is structurally sound and whether or not it is safe to continue moving into various parts of the building. I'm not sure if I have time, Gareth, but I need to emphasize the issue around hijacked buildings. The fact that we are being told by emergency services that this is basically an informal settlement inside here. It's a very, very different world inside a hijacked building. You have a large number of people living in one small room. There's no proper ablution facilities. There's probably one toilet or so that's being used by a large number of people. There's no proper electricity connection. There's very small passages that are used to get in and out of the building. So that also speaks to what could have possibly happened where people were trying to evacuate and get out of the building. If people were scrambling to get out. So there's a lot that was probably happening here just after 1 o'clock this morning when the fire broke out. And the blaze must have been extensive, Gareth, because unfortunately police are really starting to get strict and they're telling us to move out of the way. They've now put this tape over because some people were starting to move in. But there is still smoke. It's very difficult. We actually can't show you at this point. But there is still smoke coming out of the building. And it seems that is the 4th floor where there's still smoke coming out. So it does remain an active scene. It does remain a very difficult scene because firefighters are still trying to move in. The tragedy for me is also the people that are literally roaming around. They look so lost. They look so devastated because a lot of them are really trying to either figure out what's happened, if they've lost absolutely everything, but also if they've lost their loved ones, as that mother was telling us. You know, she was saying she doesn't know where her daughter is. She doesn't know if her daughter's part of the 58 that have tragically lost their lives.
Just imagine having to wake up and see that, knowing that's where your daughter is. Imagine, just put yourself in that mother's shoes, knowing your daughter's in that building and now have no idea if she's part of those that have passed away. That update from Heidi, the breaking news just keeps on changing. 58 people is now the latest death toll. Heidi, go ahead, see if there's someone else you want to talk to. I'm going to go across to Bafedile Moerane again. Bafedile, hello. You found someone who's a resident of a nearby building, I understand. Take me to that.
Well, in fact, this lady was passing here with her sister who is actually residing in the bank building. Let's hear from her actually as to what she heard from her sister. You're saying your sister is staying in this building for over 5 years now. You're from Zimbabwe. What is she saying? I understand that the fire actually could have started next door to where she has been staying.
Yes, it's starting next door from where she's staying. I wake up on 1 o'clock. So if I wake up, somebody wake me up. Me, I thought it's at my place is burning. So time I wake up, I look at this building. I saw this building is burning. I look for my sister all over. Then I find her. So my sister, I find her. What happened? My sister said to me, the fire starts next to me. There's someone who was lighting a candle. That's what she says to me. Lighting a candle, he slipped. So after that, the candle finished and light the boards. There's boards that's in the flat. Light the boards, that's the fire starts. So if the fire starts, my sister hear that noise. He thought that that noise is from the. It's from lights. There's no light. There was no light that time. So the son wake her up. So the time she wake her up, she was dizzy. For now, she's dizzy. She was dizzy. She checked the speaker in the grandson only, and she ran away.
Where are her belongings? Her belongings, where are they? Did they burn?
All of the things, it's burned, but she just take a speaker and the kids. And the son went out in here.
Can you explain to us, what did you see? Because you woke up at that time. What is it that you saw? Because there are so many bodies here.
I saw a big fire coming from these windows. Big fire. It was not small fire. It was big fire. And us was afraid that the fire would jump to our place because it was big fire. It was big fire. I think those people died inside. It was because of smoke. Because the fire started down. It was because of smoke. They didn't afford to go down because the smoke was powerful. Some of the people, I saw one guy from Lesotho, from that window. That guy, I saw him. He shifted yesterday from that place I stayed to go there. He was trying to come out of this window. He fell down and died.
Well, such a terrible picture that some of the one of the witnesses actually having to paint there, Gareth. She is saying that her sister is staying in this building, and when they woke up, they only managed to take a few things and the child, and having to run away from the fire that had already engulfed the entire building at that point, and having to say that there was a lot of smoke. A lot of people have actually inhaled the smoke in the morning. So quite terrible scenes unfolding, but we are seeing government officials having to descend down here to monitor the situation, bringing an intervention to the families that are left stranded where they have lost their belongings. So Gareth, we're here to give you the update, and we will interact with more officials from government who will be coming here at this particular informal settlement. A lot of buildings that have actually been hijacked by a number of people. Even the guest that I've been speaking to right now having to say that she has been staying in this area for 5 years, coming from Zimbabwe together with some of her sisters. So quite terrible scenes that are unfolding, bodies having to be retrieved at this point in time. The search and rescue police dogs are already here at the scene. They have went inside to search for more bodies as we see more of the bodies being retrieved inside this building.
There are going to be so many questions around this tragedy, and I'm glad we're unpacking it as we're going along. Bafedile, Moerane, thank you very much. The big question right now is for those who were not who were able to get out of the building as well in the early hours of this morning as that fire broke out. Where are they going to go? As Bafedile and Heidi and all of us have been saying so far, very, very slow reaction from the city of Johannesburg, from the officials. Now, we're not talking about the EMS, the firefighters, the police, Metro, everybody on the scene as first responders doing an incredible job. This could have been a lot worse if they hadn't arrived. We're talking from a political leadership, from a city leadership perspective. There are still residents walking around having no idea where they're supposed to go. We're seeing images, and Heidi was alluding to this as well. There are a couple of children walking around without their parents. They don't know where their parents are. We have no idea if they've lost their loved ones and their parents in this fire. They don't know what's going on. We don't know what's going on. We're told that the City of Johannesburg mayor is only going to be arriving at 9:30 this morning. That was the last update on the political part of this. So yes, there's the emergency of this, but now it needs to turn into leadership. And right now, that leadership is in a vacuum. We'll go back to them again a little bit later.